talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
And I'm not talking unless y'all giving me likes and comments and subscribing on every video. You hear me? Hey, bitch. JamiThatsMe here. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Listen, I just wanted to come run my mouth for a quick second here about a few things, okay? Please make sure you guys, like I said, are liking up the video as you come in. But the first thing I want to get into is, of course, Porsha Williams and her soon-to-be ex-husband, Simon Guobadia. Y'all know Real Housewives of Atlanta is on its way to the people. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing the show. Hopefully, it's really good. I will say that the trailer kind of had me like, I don't know. You know, the trailers be good, but the seasons be giving blah, like Real Housewives of Potomac, right? But anywho, their show is going to be coming up pretty soon. And y'all know Simon has already started with coming at Miss Porsha, saying things on social media, threatening to sue Bravo and everything because they are utilizing his home, his vehicles and things when according to him, he has like a court order where she's not supposed to use any of that. So it seems like he is going to be watching the show more so for evidence so that he'll be able to present a case or whatever it is against whether it's Porsha or Bravo for utilizing his home or his car or whatever, child. That's what he say. He actually came to social media with this particular post here where he says, if you're watching Real Housewives of Atlanta and reading blogs this season along with millions of others, please don't ask me to stay silent. Do not come over here with your host asking me to shut up because I'm not going to do it. I'm telling you right now. He says, expecting that from me would be disingenuous. I wouldn't even give that advice to my worst enemy. God bless you. Okay. He says, do I need to be any clearer than this? Huh? I know folks with average IQ get my point. All right. So this is what Simon had to say. He is already planning. He's giving us a warning ahead of time. I'm finna be going in. If you think that I have been going in, you ain't seen nothing yet. Just wait till this season start. I'm gonna give y'all even more. Okay. And don't say to me either. And you know what's interesting? Around the time that this season start, I feel like it'll be like the anniversary time frame of when he and Fallon decided to get their divorce or whatever, or at least let us know that they were separated and things when he got caught out with the young lady. By the time the show drops, I believe it will be around the same time that he was caught out there with some white skin, light skin or something young lady. And then shortly after that, we ended up learning that he was with Porsha. I wonder how much of an anniversary is that? I can't recall. I feel like it happened during the pandemic or 2021 at least. I think is when things may have popped off with them. So, child, they about to have an anniversary coming up, okay, from when they got together and got exposed just a little piece by Dennis when he came out to let us know that they were together. I remember that because I was like, I do not believe y'all. When people were alluding to that and Dennis was like, he posted a photo and said, congratulations, Porsha, or whatever it was. I was like, stop playing. Y'all are lying to me. Porsha wouldn't do nothing like that. What are y'all saying? Girl, I looked crazy because I was 1000% wrong because Miss Girl did exactly that. Okay. But all in all, this is what Simon has to say. And we'll just have to wait and see. Simon, I know you don't want people to tell you to be quiet, but I think they probably will because you're likely gonna get on the people's nerves. Okay. You're probably gonna sound like a broken record or whatever. And I think the people they gonna be telling you to hush one way or another. So it is what it is, okay? Y'all leave y'all thoughts down below about that. The next thing I want us to talk about, honey, we have to get into Married to Medicine, more so Miss Phaedra, okay? So let me say this. Phaedra made a post the other day over on Instagram where she was like, I know you guys may be sick of me, but unfortunately, there's no medicine for an obsession. I said, no, you didn't. No, you did not. So I got in the comments and I was like, okay, so does that mean you're not going to be attending the reunion? I don't know why. It was something about that message that made me think she's not going. I know you may be sick of me, but unfortunately, there is no medicine. It was that part right there. Like, there is no medicine. that part made me feel like Phaedra not going to this reunion. She's not going to be there. There is no medicine for an obsession. Listen, the fact that she has not been responding to Quad and to Dr. Heavenly in interviews, it does make, and I've seen quite a few comments where people do feel like these ladies are obsessing over Phaedra, you know, and it's unfortunate because, you know, a lot of people feel as though she didn't bring anything to the show. She's a nothing or whatever. And it's like, if you feel that way, then go ask your girls why they obsessing. Okay, why are you obsessing over her if she ain't talking about that, she ain't bringing anything, whatever the case is, all right? But aside from Phaedra, so we got the confirmation, right? And this is how we got the confirmation. We got the confirmation from the seating chart, okay? From the seating chart of Married to Medicine, we learned that Phaedra is not in attendance. Y'all know Miss T, we got into her video on yesterday where she was kind of up in the air about whether she was going to go. She was talking about how she bought this dress and she really wants to wear it, or at least she got a custom made dress. She wanted to wear it. She said, whether I go to this reunion or not, I'm going to wear it. But we should have known then that they're going to go to the reunion. They were going to the reunion, okay? It's because T does want to be on this show. As much as she complains and feels like an outsider or whatever and feel used and call the ladies out, she does want to be on the show. I think she does enjoy a bit of the fame that comes with the show. The question is whether or not Gregory is going to continue the show himself. If he feels like he's being attacked physically, so much so that he has to go and file legal work against somebody. So it's up in the air. We'll see. But all in all, this is the seating chart, y'all. And this is the craziest to me out the gate. Married to Medicine, of course, they have Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie sitting right side by Andy. I'll be honest to say I don't like that. Because I'm used to it being the person that had a lot of things going on this season sitting next to Andy. However, right? This show is not necessarily Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's Married to Medicine. And because of that, if the focus is on medicine, he's going to sit the doctors, okay? The more serious doctors, and I don't want to downplay Contessa or Dr. Heavenly at all. However, he's going to sit those more instrumental ladies right next to him. And I think that is why Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie are seated where they're seated, because of the medicine portion, right? That's what I'm thinking, okay? Y'all let me know your thoughts about that, all right? Next to Dr. Simone, we have Toya. From there, we have T. And then from there, we have Contessa, all right? I think Toya and T could have swapped. If we're going to stick with the Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie, I think Toya didn't have a lot going on. I think T did have a lot going on. And I think that she could have swapped out with Toya. So y'all let me know your thoughts about that. I think the placement of Contessa is fine. So far from what we're seeing on the show, Contessa really came back onto the show. We haven't gotten really for real updates on how her marriage is going, but more so we know she's still beefing with Heavenly in some fashion. So I understand her being on the end. Quad, right? I think Quad's placement next to Jackie, if Jackie's not going to be uprooted because of medicine, I think that's decent. If not, if it was up to me, I probably would have swapped out Quad with Jackie, and I think I likely would have swapped out T with Simone. Either that, or I would have probably put Heavenly in Simone's spot and then have Quad next to Andy, and so on and so forth, right? But y'all let me know. In the place of Simone, would you have put Heavenly there, or would you have put T in that spot, right? Let me know. Heavenly being on the end, I kind of feel like that's fine for what it looks like, you know. But she could have been, you know, we already went over where we feel she could have went. But based on where the chart is, I guess it's fine, right? Following it up with that. So we see that Phaedra's not there, so they are left hanging. by one person. And it looks, of course, y'all know when Dr. Mimi comes in, and hopefully we see more of her as the show continues, because we just got introduced to her like 2 episodes ago. So hopefully she comes in and she sits right next to Heavenly, and we'll see how that's going to play out. Okay. I guess Phaedra leaving definitely solidifies her positioning. They brought Dr. Mimi in right at the best time, because now I'm questioning, right? Phaedra had already been working on returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta before even locking in Married to Medicine, I thought. Or maybe she locked in Married to Medicine, but I remember after they secured Porsha in February of last year, conversations came up about Phaedra returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I wonder if the reason with Married to Medicine, if she may have already had like a 2-year contract for the last season and this season anyway. I'm wondering if that was already in place for her to return back to this show or whatnot. But anywho, so there's that. Phaedra's gonna be on Real Housewives of Atlanta at some point. But what I was thinking about was how they introduced Dr. Mimi to us as Phaedra ends up leaving. So it makes me question whether that was planned for Phaedra to leave anyway, right? Because around that they introduced us to Dr. Mimi on time. Shortly after that, we're going to learn that Phaedra's going to leave the trip. But then I'm wondering, once she leaves the trip, is she also going to be leaving the show? Because, of course, I guess they have to figure out a way to transition her out of the show so that she can go over to film Real Housewives of Atlanta. So now I'm just wondering if this was all a plan and a scheme that they set up to come to us with it. I don't know. But ultimately, Phaedra did not show up, okay? Quad and Heavenly have been very vocal about how they ain't been featuring Phaedra, ain't been feeling it for her. Heavenly has called out Phaedra for the whole $100,000 donation, and they kind of fell short of it. And although Dr. Heavenly has called her out for not meeting the goal that she set forth, she still abide by what she told y'all and said, even if it got to come out my pocket, y'all gonna have 100,000. And she fulfilled that. Right. And I just don't understand why we are continuing to make that like such a big deal when the lady paid the money and showed the receipts that she did pay the money, and Heavenly even said the lady paid the money. So that's what I was confused by, because I'm like, if this happened back in June or so of last year, June, July, then why are you in 2025 making it appear as though the man still ain't got his money when he got his money? If he don't have anything, then that's on Dr. Jackie, because Phaedra sent the check to her people that should have cut the check over to that man. So I don't know. Phaedra, I don't know what else you did to these folk behind the scenes or some girl, because they have been on your arse just a piece, okay? But I find it very funny because a lot of the fans are upset. All right. A lot of them are laughing like myself, because I find it to be hilarious that Phaedra's not at the reunion after they spend so much time talking about her. And I should have known she likely wasn't going to attend, because she hasn't been discussing them. She was asked like one time in an interview about something. I think they asked her something about helping the viewership out or whatever, and I think she responded to that. But after that, she's like avoided questions, not really been interested in responding to y'all until y'all tried to come out and lie on that lady giving that money. So then she had to come and show out and be like, whoop, there it is. Okay. So it's been a mess. They've been on Phaedra's head or whatever. Phaedra ain't been fooling with them. So we all should have known that she wasn't going to show up to the reunion. A lot of people said that Phaedra was afraid and she was like ducking that smoke. And I'm just kind of confused on what kind of smoke would she be ducking from bitches like them. Ain't that's what she said? Ain't that's what she said on the show to their face? To their face, did she say bitches like y'all or something like that? She said. So I don't think it was much for her to really really duck or whatever the case. And maybe it was heat. Maybe y'all are right. It was the heat. And she couldn't take the heat, so she got out the kitchen or whatever the case is. And I'm wondering if she was supposed to get out the kitchen anyway, considering the fact that she signed a contract for a whole nother show. But yeah, people were really upset that she's not going to be at this reunion. And I'm kind of like, well, it's funny to me because y'all said she brought nothing to the show. So now that she's bringing absolutely nothing to the reunion, y'all are still upset. So I'm just like, well, listen, girl, you ain't gonna win either way it goes. So you might as well do what the hell you want to do. Okay. Ain't this what Miss Karen did? Ain't this what Miss, what's her name? Miss Mary of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Remember, Mary missed one of their reunions, and I didn't think that Mary would be able to come back, but she did. Mary ended up returning, and she had a great last season, this past season. Karen didn't show up to her reunion. She says that she was in a rehab or whatever. And I'll be honest, I definitely was one of the people that kind of felt the way like Karen. And I did feel like Karen was the one ducking the smoke just a piece, okay? Because you done sat up there and voluntarily signed yourself up for this doggone rehab or whatever. But I also get it too, because she's trying to get a lighter sentence, because she did get found guilty, and it could be jail time involved. So I mean, honestly, she did what a lot of us would have did. I know I would have. I'm not even gonna hold you. Not even gonna hold you. But here's the thing: although Karen did not show up to the reunion, Karen actually kind of did show up to the reunion, right? Because we are gonna see her via Zoom or satellite, however way she's gonna get there. We're gonna end up seeing her in some fashion. So she'll be there. So yeah, but as far as Phaedra, I just find it funny. For me, I didn't care whether she showed up or whether she didn't show up. If she did show up, make sure you address Heavenly accordingly, and any thing Quad had to say. But her not showing up is definitely a cackle to me, though. I will say that, as I told you guys. She ain't bring nothing to the show, and now she giving y'all exactly what y'all said she brought to the show. Nothing. She's giving you nothing, not even her presence for the reunion, and the people still upset. Child, hilarious. Okay. And a lot of people be like, oh, Phaedra had those rehearsed reads or whatever like that. When she ate Miss Kenya up at the Real Housewives of Atlanta, she ate her up. It was a rehearsed read. Whatever it was, whether it was rehearsed or not, it ended up being an iconic one because people continue to say it. However, I will also say, y'all don't think she would have came with some rehearsed reads as well for Heavenly too? Come on now. Now, granted, I will say this. Heavenly definitely would have been louder than her, because Heavenly will get loud with you. She will try to overtalk you. Okay? So I don't know if Phaedra would have even gotten a chance to say everything that she might needed to or wanted to say. Okay, fooling with Heavenly, because she definitely was going to get loud and overtalk you. But anywho, that's all that I got. I just wanted to come and chit-chat with you guys real quick. Let y'all know that, listen, Simon still gonna be on Miss Porsha head, tap dancing on her head and her shoulders, knees, and toes. Okay, and then with Miss Phaedra, listen, the reunion seating chart to me is a mess, but I guess I get it. And Phaedra not gonna be at the reunion, and I guess she gonna continue to leave the people mad. All right, so that's all I have. I know you guys are gonna leave your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you guys are being respectful, because again, we don't know a lot of these people aside from what we see on TV, and these people definitely don't know you. So just be kind in the comments, people. Leave your thoughts below. I'm Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasted film, I can fill a pool, we gon' make them swim, nigga.